Bring it down! Bring my turtle! Bring it down! End the Venezuela now! End the Venezuela now! Bring the turtle! Bring it down! Bring my turtle! Bring it down! Venezuela to Iran! Venezuela to Iran! No more sanctions to Iran! No more sanctions to Iran!
Why am I not surprised, right? It's crazy because that's the exact question that I asked myself when I saw this video for the first time. Why am I not surprised, right? Why am I not surprised? And this is another example. I'm trying to tell you, like, these liberals, these leftists, their ideologies can never ever line up. They always contradict themselves. And I'm going to explain to you exactly how. So for those who follow the election, and people who care about who's in power, you follow politics, a couple of months ago, you might remember there was a No Kings protest. Now, what was the No Kings protest about? It was basically saying that Trump is a fascist, he's a dictator, and he wants to run America forever and never ever leave the seat in the Oval Office. And classic Trump being petty as hell, right? Because him and his team were very petty. They insinuated and they even played with the idea of Trump serving multiple more terms in the Oval Office, even though we know that that is not possible. Just to get on the minds of liberals, right? Which leads me perfectly to the contradiction that I'm seeing right now, right in front of my eyes, and you're seeing right now in front of your very eyes, of leftists and liberals taking to the streets saying free Maduro, hands off Venezuela. So hold on. These are the same people who were just saying that, they just went on a tirade and did multiple protests and took over the streets, right? And said that Trump was a fascist, he was a dictator, he wants to rule over everybody forever. But Trump went in and got a man out of a country, a fascist, right? A guy who was a dictator, basically, and allegedly rigged the election, right? And got him up out of there, right? After he was talking a lot of shit on the internet. And the Venezuelan people, mind you, the Venezuelan people are celebrating this as a victory, right? But now they're taking to the streets and saying free Maduro. Now they're saying you should free the fascist, free the dictator. Sounds very, very familiar. Like I've always been saying, I'm going to keep saying it because it's very, very true. All you have to do is just give these liberals a camera, give them the streets to march, or just give them a platform, right? Give them the voice, and they will always contradict themselves. Because I really want somebody to explain to me the concept of you going out 2 months ago, claiming that we are under the ruling and the leadership of a dictator, and then that said dictator, allegedly, right? This dictator that you have in power goes out and rids the people in Venezuela of a current dictatorship. And now that guy who was an actual dictator should be free. But in liberal ideology, this all lines up perfectly.
The English flag isn't just a symbol of racism. It may be the primary symbol of racism in this country because of how it's been adopted and co-opted by the far right. All right, in many ways, it's like the Confederate flag. There's a reason why the far right picked this flag.
Yeah.
And it's not.
What do you think that is?
Discussion, because actually, for a lot of people in England, being English is being white. And that's why someone like me would never say I'm English.
So this guy is getting told not to fly his flag in a public area when you've got the pro-Hamas flag being flown, you've got the Palestine flag, all the other fascist flags that they've got going, but he's being told to go away with his England flag. In England. I mean, come on, you can't make this.
To think that this is the country, that is the country from which we adopted our constitution, or founding fathers adopted our constitution from that country, and this is what it is now. Absolutely insane. I'm just thankful that it wasn't like that when I lived there, because I would not be able to function in society like that, where the citizens of that country cannot have the free speech to say whatever the hell they want. Like literally 30 people a day. If you did not know, 30 people per day are getting arrested in the United Kingdom, well, England, for free speech and saying things online and doing tweets and stuff like that. Imagine being told that you cannot wave your own country's flag. Like, I know America, like they're trying to get crazy with it now, right? They're trying to get crazy with it over here. But the fact that it's actually a law in England that you cannot, like, you get arrested for tweets and stuff like that, that's actually insane. And let me address that guy's point, by the way, about the Confederate flag. Listen, the Confederate flag, I can understand if people have a problem with the Confederate flag, right? Because the Confederate flag, right, racism, right? Okay, cool. Even though, y'all know I'm not really a big fan of crying about racism all the time. It happened in the past. It's over with now, right? We're on equal playing field, right? Color really doesn't matter in today's world. So, but I can still understand the Confederate flag. But to compare the British flag and saying that that's why they chose it to the Confederate flag, that's next level victim mindset. Like, I know we have it bad here, but nah. Comparing the British flag, the England flag, to the Confederate flag, tough.
I mean, they would say, look, these fraud cases have been going on, but they've already done like 80 indictments. The cases have been going on, for years.
And why did I show up one day in Minnesota and go to all these daycares, no children? They're receiving millions of dollars. We uncovered nearly $110 million in fraud in one day.
How do you know that all the allegations that you're making are true?
How do I know that they're true? Well, we showed you guys what was happening, and then you guys can go ahead and make your own analysis.
We're coming so we can make our own analysis. Are you 100% sure you're true?
Yeah, I am 100% sure I'm true.
CNN is looking into Shirley's claims. Hi, my name's Whitney Wild. I'm a correspondent for CNN. We reached out to several of the daycares featured in the now viral video. Only one daycare facility answered and said they are a legitimate business. Have you seen the videos, purporting that some of these daycares don't have kids inside? Minnesota Republicans say despite the new focus from the Trump administration, they have been sounding the alarm on fraud.
So this clip from CNN with Nick Shirley, the guy who's, exposing all this fraud in Minnesota, has been going viral because CNN has made it their mission to fact check Nick Shirley. As you can see in the video right there, the reporter asked him, how do you know what the hell you're talking about is true? Did you guys not see the video? I mean, you're telling me that a YouTuber is doing your job for you? You see, this is why nobody takes the mainstream media serious anymore. Fox News, CNN, CBS, MSNBC. Nobody takes you guys anymore because it takes a YouTuber, right? And I'm not knocking Nick Shirley. Tremendous investigative skills, right? He's doing a job. I mean, they might as well hire him now, right? Which they probably won't because he will probably expose more things that they don't want to come to light. But it just goes to show you, this is why independent media and people like Candace Owens, people like Tucker Carlson, people who are actually, giving us the details raw, pause, right? It's all real, no BBLs, right? They're giving us the information, right? This is why those people are popping up and they're popping off and they're getting more popular because we don't want to hear the mainstream narrative anymore. It's boring. You're lying to us. And then they call all the daycares and one of them answered and says that they're a legitimate business. I mean, what else? If you introduce yourself as a CNN correspondent, you think that daycare is going to tell you that they're not legitimate? I mean, come on, man. Listen, I'm not a reporter by any shot. I'm far from it. But I mean, this is basic. Like, who would admit to fraud after you just introduce yourself as a CNN correspondent? Nobody would ever do that.